Jesse Hett. Jesse Hett!
Hey, thanks everybody. That's me. Thanks for the appropriate amount of applause. Welcome to the Broke-Ass Sewer Kind of Late Show. How you guys doing tonight, huh? Yeah? I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you that this is a live taping and we have a series of microphones interspersed throughout the audience that are specifically tuned to pick up the sounds of human enjoyment. So you guys are all part of the show. With that in mind, let me ask you again, how you guys doing tonight? Oh, great, that's perfect. That actually, all that applause, making my head ring a little bit. I'm a little hungover today. I accidentally went out last night and got like Friday drunk on a Wednesday. I got payday drunk yesterday. I gotta stop doing that. I think I gotta start cutting back on my drinking a little bit. Yeah, well, I realized I should maybe start cutting back because I realized I'd never once woken up in the morning and said to myself, man, I wish I would have drank more last night. That would have been way better. Like 3-4 more double whiskeys. I probably could have called like 5 ex-girlfriends instead of just the 2. Could have set a new personal record. The problem is I'm not like a bad drunk. I don't get like angry or combative or anything. I just get extra chatty. Some would say I give too many hugs to strangers, but I would say, who are you to judge the amount of hugs I should be giving strangers? Do you think you're better than me? That's how I talk when I've been drinking. I think people are better than me a lot of the time, even when they're clearly not. And even my drunk dial, like even that's not that bad. I have had a few situations where you wake up to an early morning phone call from an ex, you know, just 7 o'clock in the morning, phone's ringing, just wake up out of a whiskey haze. It's your ex on the other line. She's like, do you remember calling me last night? I'm like, no, what did I say? She's like, well, you left a really long message. I'm like, ooh, that's not a good sign. Was it like inappropriate sexual stuff? And she's like, no, you just retold the story that time we were walking down the street together and you saw a dog sitting in the driver's seat of a car and you walked up to the dog and you said, license and registration, please, sir. And he just laughed for the rest of the message. It was just 90 seconds of laughter, which is too much. I could tell you were in a public bathroom by yourself, too, because I could hear your laughter echoing off the tiles. Like, all right, you know me pretty well. I think I need some direction in my life. I watch too much professional wrestling, like during the day. One of my roommates caught me watching pro wrestling, which is an embarrassing situation when you're an adult man. And it's like a Tuesday morning. And also, I was laying on my couch with a bathrobe just hanging open. And, you know, I was eating a block of cheese like it was a candy bar. So, certainly not my finest hour. You know, I'll admit that much. But roommate came in, he's like, what are you watching? And I was like, SummerSlam from 1994, 95, I don't know. And then he hit me with a follow-up question. He's like, why? I've asked myself that same question many times, man, and I have yet to come up with a good answer. I find it soothing for some reason. I start to get a little embarrassed at this point, like worried about the direction my life is heading, thinking about all the decisions I've made. Face is starting to get a little red. And then he hits me with a third follow-up. He's like, isn't that stuff fake? Isn't pro wrestling fake? And my embarrassment turned to indignation in the blink of an eye. I was like, fake? Well, I mean, it's staged. It's scripted, but that's hardly the same as fake. Like, would you go to a play and be like, well, this is fake? What? I bet you those swords aren't even sharp. I don't think that's real poison in any of those cups. Wait a second, that's not Hamlet, that's Jeff. He works at the grocery store. I went to high school with that guy. He's not the Prince of Denmark. This is clearly fake. I guess I just like too much dumb stuff. Constantly shocked by how dumb I am. Like, I tried everything to not be dumb. I tried to go to college and get like a good education. I think I got a pretty good balanced education, but still didn't mitigate any of the idiocy that goes on a daily basis. Like I went to a reputable school. I double majored in sociology and economics, which was a nice experience because like I could go to my sociology class. I could learn all about how throughout human history, white men have hoarded wealth and exploited the poor and disenfranchised native populations. And then I could go to my economics classes and learn about how to like hoard wealth, how to exploit the poor, disenfranchised native populations. And I decided to do this instead. Despite all that education, graduated with honors in both departments and still just get real excited when I see a pigeon on a BART platform. Like, especially if it's the underground one. I'm like, what are you doing down here, buddy? You're supposed to be flying up in the sky. What is this, opposite day? Bet you didn't even buy a ticket, you rascal. Just enjoy dumb stuff, too. Like, I blame a lot of that on my upbringing, because I was like born and raised until my early teens in central Kansas, in like just the very center, like as mid as the Midwest could possibly be, just around nothing but like shit-kicking hillbillies and farmers that grow plants that I don't even know what they do. Like, what is Milo? I don't know. Something. Cows eat it, maybe? Who the fuck knows? My dad grows it. And somehow I like adopted like a lot of that weird redneck hillbilly stuff. Even though I moved to the Bay Area when I was like 13, and I've been here like for my formative years, and I consider myself like progressive, like, you know, politically and socially, but still can't shake my weird hillbilly DNA. Like, there's just something in my bones that makes me get real excited if I even just see a picture of a crossbow. Look at that crossbow, man. That sucker is camouflage. You better never drop that in the woods. You will not find it again. It's incredible. Like, I know 70% of the lyrics to every Bob Seger song. Just genetically. Like, even unreleased ones, like concert tracks that he never were for public consumption, I still know at least half the lyrics. Love monster trucks, man. Do you guys know it's possible to, like, fully support marriage equality and then also just fucking love monster trucks at the same time? Like, I don't know how it works. I'm doing it, though. Every time I watch Monster Jam, again, I get super excited about the giant trucks driving over regular-sized cars. Like, fucking look at that. Look at the size of that truck, man. That truck's like the elephant of the vehicle world. It goes where it wants, when it wants, and answers to nobody. It's driving over all those regular-sized cars. This is an incredible racing event. Look, it's Gravedigger versus El Toro. El Toro's got horns. Gravedigger is a repurposed hearse. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And you know what would also be nice is if after the race those two drivers married each other. If they were truly in love, I think that'd be amazing. Like, they clearly have similar interests, same travel schedule. I think that'd work out beautifully. Eventually they could just ride in the same truck hand in hand. Just carpooling over those regular-sized cars. Just decreasing the carbon footprint of Monster Jam. That'd be incredible. Yeah, just a giant idiot, I guess. Nothing to be done about it. I could use some purpose in life, I think. It can't all just be waking up at noon, working at a comic book store 3 days a week, telling jokes to strangers. I think maybe I should become Pope. Like, right? I think I'd be an excellent Pope. Like, and I'm 100% sure I could beat up the current Pope. Like, I could beat up any Pope throughout history, I'm pretty sure. And I've only been to church like 4 times, but I'm pretty sure that's how the line of papal ascension works. It's like, if you pin the Pope for a 3 count, that's how you become the new Pope. I think I'd be a great Pope, too, just because the bar for Pope seems really low. Like, they call the current guy the cool Pope. You know what makes him so cool? Is he came out and publicly said that he doesn't think gay people are going to hell, and he mostly believes in science. Like, that's not even enough to make you the coolest Safeway deli employee, but somehow if you're the Pope, like, I have higher standards for my shitty dirtbag friends. Like my buddy Ricky Two Strikes. He's the worst person I know, a legitimate 2-time felon. And even he believes in marriage equality and dinosaurs. Like, that's why we get along. That's practically all we talk about. Like, if you came up to me and said, hey, Jesse, I met one of your friends the other day, and I said, oh, yeah, which friend? And you said, oh, I don't know, I didn't catch their name. I did mention that doesn't think gay people are going to burn in hell for eternity and also mostly believes in evolution. I wouldn't then be like, oh, that's my cool friend. That's pretty much the coolest friend I ever had. You just had to run in with Cool Francis. Lucky you. All right, you guys. Thanks for listening. That's the end of my portion of the show.